need to pull the trigger. Fucking safety. Jesus. Hotdogs, Horseshoes, and Handgrenades, or just H3VR, is a virtual reality sandbox gun simulator featuring well over 500 uniquely different firearms. From things like flintlocks to modern Glocks, and even entirely original guns, some of which really should not exist, H3VR has, and I'm confident in saying this, the largest selection of firearms any VR shooter has on the market. They all function as realistically as their own counterparts in real life, and accurately reflect modern ballistics in a very immersive way. And with all these guns in one game, there is shooting ranges, target practice, and even some drill room areas as well. But there are also some story maps that feature less than ideal storytelling.
Alright, you're gonna run to the store, just for a moment, then take out the parts down the street. Don't go away, mate! I'll be right back!
What a fucking poser. There's also the Meatless Globe, which has been redesigned recently, and now has a much better look since 106, and a proper combat theater to test one's skills in speed, efficiency, ballistics knowledge, and accuracy. Taken Hold. Taken Hold is a much more serious scene in which you, the player, is tasked to roam around in a tightly underground series of hallways, or Canada, in search of supply points for health and tokens, guns, and to, as the name suggests, take and hold a specific area for a set amount of time as increasingly harder waves of enemies, both with tougher armor and better armaments, attempt to stop you. Normally, the only competition in this is in leaderboards, but there is also the first to worst competitive league, which is kinda cool actually. But it also shows that some people do actually take and hold seriously. And with me making this video, now I do too, just in the, well, wrong way at this point. So I was sitting around one day just browsing some of the H3 guides, and I spotted a guide made by the user Czar Andre, talking about how some of the guns would likely fall under a tier list, both by category and just in general compared overall. I was naturally interested and saw that there was not too many guns nowadays that's on there. So I checked when it was last updated and when it was posted, and it was last updated in update 67. This was not good enough for me. So I, the absolute brain-dead, meat-headed fool that I am, decided to take it upon myself to begin a very, very, very monumentous project and rank over 500 separate firearms onto multiple tier lists based upon several factors so as to not be swayed by bias too terribly much. Oh god, what have I done? So I present to you my Take and Hold tier list series, covering various types of firearms in specific, more broad, and in general tier lists. But I thought my opinions alone would be useless on the internet's ears. So I went and brought along some of my friends. We have Dom, who has extensive hunting experience and a very great knowledge of firearms in general, and we also have our token military member, Lux, who naturally handles guns on the regular, being in active military. No, like he's actually in the US military as of right now. He seriously is deployed. And then there's me, the guy who recorded all of the footage, performed all the experiments in-game, and is the only one who has actually played the game in general. While also have never really pulled a trigger on a real gun, so clearly we're very much experts in this field to do something like this. I am sorry. So with our powers combined, we very much should not have done anything along the lines of doing a tier list like this. I, of course, do have several rules put in place and more than enough stats to look at to make sure we know not only what we're talking about, but what we should look for in said gun, so as to also not be swayed too much by our own biases on rather notable and very famous guns, but I can't promise we won't sound much like idiots. So join me as we rank 500 guns in H3VR.